Hello and welcome to the Debate Gate Sports Podcast. You're watching a clip from our first episode, which is about ranking the NBA city jerseys for 2020, as well as reacting to the new 2020 NFL jerseys.
All right, and welcome to our main segment of this podcast, and we are going to be ranking slash judging slash rating professional designers as they created the city jerseys for 29 of the 30 NBA teams, the only one not being the Memphis Grizzlies. And we are going to be putting them into 5 tiers. The first one is the S tier, which is one of the greatest jerseys of all time. A tier, which is a great jersey. B tier, just a good jersey. C tier, meh, and D tier, every person who buys it is stupid and they should all be burned in a fire. So, we're going to be starting off with the Toronto Raptors and the Atlantic Division. We are going to be splitting these up into videos, so if you just want to go and watch your own team and where we put them, you can go to that video now. And we're going to be starting with the Toronto Raptors. I personally put them in the A tier because I love the way they mixed the old and the new. I love the old font from the Vince Carter era, along with the new age numbers and whatnot, and I like the asymmetric only having the logo on the side, as well as the cleanliness of the jersey. It's very clean, simple, but that also kind of hurts it in my opinion because that also brings it down from a S tier. If they had a little bit more going on, like maybe instead of the larger stripes on the side of the pants, they made it even more old school where they had just the black, and instead of the purple with the black stripes, they made it black with gold stripes like back in the day. I feel like that would put it into the S tier of all time, but obviously they are not that, so I put them in the A tier.
Okay, well, personally, I think these are S tier, 100%. And yes, they did make these old, kind of combine the old school and new school. But as you'll find in the video, I'm not huge fans of all black jerseys. But when the Raptors added this kind of gold secondary color, I thought that was a huge win. And for me, the thing that really is the killer is the font, which I just love. I love the font. I love how they put the little triangles over the name on the back of the jersey, which is a tribute to the Vince Carter days. And this jersey is just so clean. I thought it was a huge step. I liked where they were going with the black North jerseys last year, and this is just a huge step up. So for me, S tier. Starting off with an S tier.
Very, very, very good. Next, we have the Boston Celtics. Now, I am also going to put them in the A tier. They are an amazing jersey. I love the green and gold look together. I think it looks great. It reminds me of Notre Dame. And if you look closely, a detail that I love is that there's like this sort of trim that is on a lot of Celtic ethnic buildings and clothing. It's like a knot pattern, and it's also on the edge of the Celtics uniform. So that's a little touch to where their name came from, which I like a lot. As well as just the font looks super cool, and they wear it well. I think I think they should bring this back one more year. And this is a really, really good jersey. Especially, I love how they differed. This is, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think this is the first time they have ever differed from their mainstay jersey font and colors. Because the only times I remember the past two city jerseys, the first
font is
one was the
different.
gray. The first one
Yeah,
was
and the
gray,
second
and the
one
second
was
one was just yellow lettering.
yellow. Yeah, yeah.
So they didn't change the font at all. They didn't really change much of the jersey at all. They didn't change any of the colors besides the color of the jersey itself and the number. But like now that they added an entirely new second jersey or second color to the jersey, it looks amazing to me.
Yeah, I agree. This is a very nice jersey. For me, it's B tier, and I mean, I don't have a lot of bad things to say about this jersey. I love the colors. Like I said before with the Raptors, gold is a huge plus always. And that with the classic Celtic green is obviously great. I don't think it's enough to be in the A or the S tier just because they still weren't really differing too much from their old jerseys, but the font looks good. I like their secondary logo looks very, very nice. Their kind of city logo. But another thing that would have made this a whole lot better is if the Celtics made a court to match these nice jerseys, because I just think they're very stubborn with changing anything with the classic TD garden. But I think a nice court definitely would have moved these higher
Definitely.
into the list.
So next we have the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, I'm gonna get some backlash for this. Actually, a lot of backlash, especially from my co-host. I'm putting these in the B tier. Now, you may ask why. Because it's kind of the same jersey as last year is part of the reason. They just went from Philly, like Phila, to Philadelphia, which I do like more. I like the font. I like the asymmetric 76 on the side, which I love that logo, by the way. That back from the 70s when Dr. J was playing for them. I also like the crack, like in the bell. And I get the cream color, just for me personally, like brown. It's kind of like a brown, so I can't really say it's an S tier for me. I can't say I love it, but I can say it's a good jersey, as I put it in the good tier. But I don't know what it's missing, but in my opinion, it's lacking something. Might be the coloring. It's just lacking something from making it like a god tier jersey. It's just a little bit away from a god tier jersey.
Okay, so originally I was gonna put this in S tier, but the more I look at it, I'm not sure this 100% checks all the boxes for S tier. And I love this jersey. This is a top 5 jersey, city jersey, in my opinion. And I do not have really any critiques. I love the font. The font is cream is not too bad. I love the red, white, and blue accents around the trim. I think that really is a nice touch. My favorite part is probably the Liberty Bell crack. I think it really does a nice job of attributing the city. But the one thing that keeps it from S tier is how similar these jerseys were last year. I felt like if they had expanded a little more, these would have been S tier, but nonetheless, I would totally buy this jersey.
I think another thing holding it back for me would be the fact that I like every other one of their jerseys better than this. I think the red script, the red script is my favorite, followed by the white classic where it has like one S and then the 76ers next to it. And then I love the blue. The white might be below it, but the blue is really good and it's above it. So that's another thing that keeps me down is that the Philadelphia 76ers have arguably the best jersey room, like the jersey locker in any team in the NBA right now. Their jerseys are just amazing and their font is great. But that's another thing that's keeping it down is I like every single other one of their jerseys more. Like if I love Joel Embiid, he's probably my favorite non-Bulls player in the NBA, besides Bam and Jimmy. So favorite non-Miami Heat or Bulls player. If I were to buy one of his jerseys, this would probably be last on the list out of all of them.
Well, yeah, I feel like Philadelphia, their color scheme is perfect. Like the red, white, and blue, it's like a really fun scheme. You can do a lot with it. And as you can see, the 76ers have done a lot with it. So, yeah, A tier.
Very much so. Next, we have the Brooklyn Nets. And
boy,
this is a very interesting one to me. I originally had it in A. I'm moving it down to B now, but I could see the argument for C. Now, I think the main reason why I can see the argument for C is because this was basically the same thing last year, and they just did it better last year when they just had it where it said Brooklyn. I keep it at B because Bed-Stuy is more city-based, as in applies more to the city of Brooklyn than just saying Brooklyn. Like it's something because that's what city jersey is supposed to be. It's supposed to represent the side of the city that is not forefront on their typical NBA jerseys. So the Bed-Stuy perfectly represents that. I don't remember the name of the neighborhood. But basically
I remember one of them's Bedford. And the other one.
I'm looking at it right now. Can you let me scroll? Thank you. It is Bedford Stuyvesant. So that's what it stands for, Bedford Stuyvesant. Great names in hip hop were born there, and it was just like it was like the launch point for hip hop and hip hop culture and whatnot. So it was. I do like the city edition, like this, it applying to the city and like what it represents. But the Bed-Stuy looks awkward. Having it a different font than the numbers, sometimes works, sometimes don't. In this case, it doesn't. As well as I don't like the white version. I prefer the black with the colors, and they should bring back. They should have kept D'Angelo Russell instead of trading him.
Okay, a little bit of opinions there. And for me, it's C tier. And I agree with everything you said. Starting off with the positive, I love the kind of colory, stripe-ish pattern that's on the trim and down the sides. I love that when they had it last year with Brooklyn. I don't really care that they moved this jersey to white. I don't think that. I kind of like the white jerseys better than the black jerseys, but when they changed it to Bed-Stuy, I mean, obviously, it doesn't really look great on the jersey. It's just it kind of looks out of place because it's got the wild font, and then when you're used to seeing the simple like standard number font and standard name font on the back, I think the Bed-Stuy looks out of place. And yeah, it's too similar to what they did last year to really move it anywhere higher from an already meh jersey. So that's why it's in the meh C tier.
Next, we have the New York Knickerbockers, the worst team to ever exist besides the Browns in all of sports. Yes, I said it.
The NBA.
Knicks fans get pissed. Your franchise sucks forever, and big media like ESPN, stop talking about them. No one cares. Stop talking about them. They're a shithole. Anyways, sorry for that rant, but this shithole somehow was able to create wonderful city jerseys. Oh my goodness, these things are great. They are a throwback to an era when they were decent at basketball, which was a very, very long time ago. And they are they just look great. I love the color pattern of their typical blue interchanging with the orange. I like the skyline down the side. I think it's a very clean jersey. Unfortunately, they don't have any good players where I would buy this jersey, but I would because it looks amazing. I do love it, and it's the good example of clean. It's where it has enough going on, but it's not too busy. It's like that perfect medium point in between being too clean, like the Raptors, even though the Raptors have a better jersey than this, and too busy, like another jersey we're talking about, Dallas Mavericks, and too busy. So it's like that perfect middle point for me, and I love it. I like the sky. It adds like the skyline adds a bit of more city touch to it, and that's about it. And I would put them in the A tier, but the bottom of the A tier.
Wow.
So like last place of the A tier.
Wow.
So on the border.
Oh man, I can't look at these jerseys. These are D tier 100%.
These are trash. Excuse me, but what is going through your head right now? How dumb are you?
Can't find anything really good about it. The font is plain. The number font, plainer. And I
The
understand
number
that they
font and the
tried to be
jersey font are the
creative.
same exact thing, mate.
They tried to be creative by putting the blue and orange stripes around the trim, but it looks like something that you would see in a children's museum. I kind of like the skyline on the side, but even that kind of makes it look stripy. The blue and the orange stripes just remind me of the guy from Blue's Clues.
The guy from Blue's Clues.
Yeah, guy that would always wear the striped shirt. Looks
Oh
like,
my god.
yeah, it's giving me flashbacks to a kid's show.
Granted, the players are just as dumb and
Yeah.
just as good as basketball as that guy.
The Knicks have a terrible team, and they will have terrible city jerseys this year. So
Oh my god, you're literally the dumbest person alive. You are uneducated and you don't deserve to be my co-host anymore. Yeah, you heard me right. I'm kicking Gavin off after this podcast.
all right.
Thank you for watching this clip of episode 1 of our Debate Gate Sports podcast. If you enjoyed what you heard, then please consider following us on our other social medias, watching the entire podcast on Spotify or here on YouTube, or helping us out the most by subscribing here to this channel. All links are shown on the screen or down below in the description.